Gentlemen, what's going on? How are we doing this week?
Good. I'm getting ready for a big trip for me. One of these bucket list trips. So I'm all good.
Yeah, you're like going to be on a train, I was going to say flying, rolling around the country,
Canada.
and no Wi-Fi for days. And
In a sleeper car train.
there you go, man. I'm sure you went all out, didn't you? You went with the premier package there, right?
Yeah, we have a butler in our car. So if that tells you anything.
Well, I hope she's hot. So,
Well,
um,
the deal is, here's the deal, Tom, and you know the deal. The deal is to wake up one day and have your day, what we call day of freedom.
Yep.
That's where you're free to do anything you want to do, not the shit you have to do. And it only comes from, really, in my case, 40 years of being disciplined and doing all the shit I talk about and the shit that we talk about. Everybody gets to wake up and have that day one day if they do put in the work.
well, speaking of putting the work in, I know today we wanted to talk about an aspect of that can probably help some guys get to their freedom day. And that's making it easier, or making it easy for people to buy from us. What's that all about, Derek?
Well, so when we start our process, in any process we have in our company, and Shin Fu process, in their Contractor Sales Academy, the bridge, that's what we teach is the Shin Fu process. What happens is it's like we put too many things in the way. You follow the process and just do that, the 5 steps. But sometimes we put like these blocks in the way, these hoops that customers have to jump through, which it's important. But if you're not a little bit flexible, and still maintaining the process, you're going to screw yourself in a lot of ways. Just like I went and picked up some money from a guy. He didn't have an email address. There was no way he was going to send me pictures. None of that was going to happen, but I had to have that open, honest conversation with him before I went to see him and say, hey, man, if I'm coming to see you, there's no negotiations. I need a deposit from you when I show up. Is that what's going to happen when I come over there today? Because you want me to come really, really bad. Because my normal process is send him a link, send me the pictures, schedule a phone call, go through it, review it. So sometimes you got to be flexible, but you still can't veer from, hey, man, you got to give me money when I get there. And there is no negotiations. This is what's going to happen. So is it making it easier for him? Yes, because that's kind of what he's used to. Is it easy for me? No, because it throws me out of my normal process. But, showed up and got some money.
There you go. Steve, what have you done in the last couple of years to make it easier for people to buy from you?
Well, when you go searching for stuff, and this is how everybody shops now. So you go searching for stuff and you hit on a specific link and it takes you to either Home Depot or some general link. You're like, God damn it, I already hit the link that I want. So I make sure that when we do all our SEO stuff in the wide web, that when they hit what they want, they actually go directly to the page that they want. If they want maintenance on something, we don't go to the install page. They go right to the maintenance page. That's number one. And so their experience on the internet to find out information is easy. And then from there, I want them to call me and I actually answer the frickin' phone. And then we have a pretty easy conversation too. So I'm just trying to make it easy, not just to find me, but actually talk to a person. We don't have telephone prompts or any of that stuff. I actually say hello, believe it or not.
There you go. I know one of the things that I've done through the years, a couple of things that come to mind when I think of how I've made it easier for people to buy. The first is content. I think the more content that we have on our website that explains our process, that explains who we are, that can introduce people to the team. We talk a lot about doing live videos and social media stuff and having a YouTube channel, like all these things combined. Yes, it's a lot of work to do all this, which we all know, but it builds trust with people because you're letting them behind the curtain a little bit. And when you let them get to know you, like you, and trust you, it's much easier for them to make a buying decision. So I want to encourage guys that are listening. We've talked about content here for years in the CSA and stuff. And so, when they can have just about all of their questions answered on your website, and then I know both of you guys have had a lot of success with this over the last few years. Like, I've heard from both of you, like, yeah, they were on my website. They looked at my pricing page. They call me up or they set an appointment. They go, hey, that pond on page such and such of your book on your website or whatever, that's the one I want. And you're like, yeah, it's 26 grand. And they're like, yeah, I know. Let's do it. Makes it easier for people to buy. How's that gone for you guys in the last few years? Derek, it looked like you were going to say something there a second ago.
I think of, yeah, if someone calls me and they don't know anything about me, how can I make it easier? Well, let me push them to my website. Let me push them to my garden center. Let them find everything out about me to make their buying decision easier. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of those things that, well, God, I mean, I even talk to some guys that don't even have a website, or don't even have a really solid website. And that's the first thing they tell me. If you want to make it easy for a customer to buy from you, put some money in your website. Make it so simple for them to understand how your process works. Have a video introducing yourself. Have a video introducing your team, because that's a big thing. I just went and consulted and got a deposit check last week from a lady. Her biggest concern is that I was going to send transients. That's what she said. Is there going to be transients here building my water feature? And it's like, no. The guys, they're on my team. If you have subcontractors, make it easy for them to feel comfortable by showing who your subcontractors are. Right. I mean, if you have unsavory transient type subcontractors, well, you might want to put some uniforms on them, clean them up. I don't know what it is, but that's a big deal. So make it easy for a person to make a buying decision with you by social proofing yourself and presenting yourself in a professional manner.
Yeah, Derek, that's actually a very good point, because a lot of times, usually when you do a good job on your website with that, now they want to hire a person. They're not looking for a product or a thing. They are now trying to put a face to that thing, and they're really trying to hire a face and a personality. And what's it all come down to? Trust. That's really what they're trying to get to. So when you can knock that out up front, it's going to make your whole process much easier. And the other thing you're doing for yourself is, if what Tom's saying, if you answer all these questions up front, and so they have clarity, that's 100 less questions you're going to have to actually answer. And so instead of you talking all this technical crapola, you get to talk about them and about you and about human to human interaction, because people hire people, not things.
That's it.
So, I know another area that a lot of guys seem to fight with their businesses is that makes things easier on the buyer is accepting credit cards. Have either one of you dragged your feet with that, Steve?
Did either one of you, Steve, drag your feet? Right. I've been in business. I've been in the pond business for 18 years, and I just resisted. I mean, I dabble in PayPal because I have a PayPal account. But this year is the first year we went hog wild into credit cards. And let me tell you something. It opens up a whole new world. Because now when someone wants to do something, I'm like, great, I'm ready for your card. And you just take it and makes it easy. And it just makes it flow. It's not that it's easier for them, which it is, and not just easier for you, which it is. It's the whole thing flows, because in this day and age, everything is like, you want this? Yes, I do. I'm ready for the credit card. And it's just a natural thing. And it removes things like they want to change their mind. Not all of it, because some of them, I mean, a lady today called me up and she decided she wants her $1,500 deposit back. But it makes life easy for everybody all the way around, including the customer. And the easier, like Tom is alluding to, the easier you make it for them to buy shit, guess what they do? They buy shit.
I bet a lot of people, they want to get the airline miles, right? You know, yep. Or they're waiting on a bonus check or something, or their payday's a certain time, and they want the thing that we're selling right now, you know? So this was a point of contention, not like in a real bad way, but an old business partner of mine years ago didn't want to because of the processing fees. And every year month we'd look at the P&L, and you'd see the $800 or the $1,000 or whatever it is in processing fees. And I was always on the side of, yeah, but this makes it easier from the buy. And it's on us to be better salespeople, right? If I can't recoup, if I'm losing jobs for like 2 or 3%, then I'm not a very good salesman. You know, I mean, that's for every $100, you can't find another $3, you know, through the things we teach you and bracketing, things like that. That's a serious issue. So, another thing that I would recommend to make it easier for people to buy is actually give them less choices. There was a day and age when I itemized every damn thing, on my proposal and would outline it and all that other stuff. And it never helped. It just confused people, So I think, what we teach in the CSA right out of the gate, you guys, is the motive, right? When you really understand their motive, understand what's important to them, and then you cut to the chase and you talk about the money like we do, that eliminates a lot of the confusion for people. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts.
Well, I use it's actually a 2-page, one piece of paper, front and back, fill in the blank contract. And most people would scoff. I signed a $75,000 pawn job just last Saturday, and it's just fill in the blank because it's not even what's on paper. I mean, you need all this exact shit on paper for 1% of all people because they're just shitheads, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the other 99.9% of people on this planet, once they trust you, it's pretty much like this. You got a problem, I'll make it go away. It costs X amount. They go, great, just do it. And that's all they want to know. Just do it.
So making it easier, kind of like with your paperwork, I use Jobber. And I mean, is Jobber CRM? What do you consider Jobber?
It's a job project management thing. I don't use it. I've never used it. I don't know. But
I always when I try to explain it, it's how I invoice and how I run jobs. That's another way to make it simple. I can put all their information right in there. I can email it right over to them. They can give me a deposit via credit card or pay for the whole thing. They can sign it. They can send it back. That makes it very easy. And it's very easy to keep up with the stuff. So if a customer calls back to me and says, hey, we need to do a warranty thing or something happened, I can go right back in and look at it. I know a lot of contractors out there still, doing the old memo book, the invoice with the carbon copy. It's just make it easy on the customer. Make it happen really fast because people, it's Amazon. We have to think about our businesses like Amazon. When a customer calls us, we need to treat them like Amazon. Give me your money. We'll give you the product. But if I have to come see you, I have to take multiple trips, I'm going to do this carbon copy thing. It's even dated. So I'm just thinking of all the tricks. And the one other thing where you said, don't give them too many options. I do landscape lighting, and I did a landscape lighting class years ago. And the guy gives us this brochure and it has like 30, 40, 50, 60 lighting fixtures. He says, you see this brochure? Throw it away. Never let your customer see this because they're going to have to make all these selections. Give them a couple. So now I just have 2. I got a little mushroom and I got an uplight. That's the landscape light you're going to get. And I did it one time because I want to go ahead, select. And it was just absolute nightmare. So yeah, keep it simple.
It's funny. You mentioned Amazon. I was thinking exactly that. They have 2 things. They make it easy. Everything. If you get the wrong product, the returns are easy. Finding what you want is easy. Paying for it. I mean, click now and make the purchase. How easy does that get? It doesn't get any easier. It's not even like you have to go to your checkout cart if you don't want to go to your checkout cart. And the other thing, because they do all this shit repeatedly, now they have total trust. This is really, I use it. I want it's terrible. My wife hates it because I want a paper clip. Boom, 1 paper clip. It's done. It's going to be at my house in under 12 hours. It's going to be in about $50 worth of cardboard boxing, by the way. And that's why she gets pissed because it's not a save the planet kind of thing. But they make it easy. And we trust them. And that CarMax did the same thing. They just took all the bullshit. They made it so you trust it. They made it so there's no negotiation. So there's no shitty salesman that's going to try to beat you up. You walk in, everything looks great. The price is the price. In fact, the guy's not even on commission who's selling it. He's just an hourly guy going, you just tell me what you want. There it is. They just made it, and they guarantee it. You got 3 days to bring it back with all your money back, and then you got some other warranties that you're not going to get on the private sector. So think about your business. You're right. Like CarMax, Amazon, they thrive because they easy peasy, and you trust them.
And we have to operate like the big people are operating because that's just how people buy now. If you're not, you're just making it difficult. Make it so familiar with how people are already doing business, and you're so far ahead of the curve. We have so many opportunities. with our 5-step process, how we're using a sales process to be light years ahead of your competition. It just really is. It's just because it's very similar to that. The customer, we get on the phone, we give them all the information they need to make a buying decision, just like as if you were on the website with Amazon. They give you all of the information to make a buying decision because you can just click or no, I'm not ready to buy. Like, that's no bullshit, right? When Amazon makes it so simple and it's like $700 for that thing, you go, nah, I'm not ready to buy. Or, no, I'm good. I got the money. Boom, click. Same way. If we can do that, going through our 5 steps, the person can just go click. Cool. Set yourself up that way so they can just click the button and pay you. It's just with YouTube and videos. I mean, it's still in its infancy, but I feel like we're light years behind on this stuff. If you're not setting yourself up for people to trust you because they know you, you're just screwing yourself. I see it all the time. As many contractors as we coach and talk and speak with, you're screwing yourself. Just stop. Just stop doing it. It's maddening.
Self-sabotage, you know?
Man, unreal.
All right. Well, anything else on this, guys?
Yeah, I got one more thing because I just want to address an elephant here. We make people send us pictures before we'll talk to them so we can see what they're talking about. And so the question begs, how does it make it easy for the customer if I'm requiring them to take pictures, go to my website, upload 3 pictures with a quick description of what they want and send it to me? How does that make it easy for the customers? And do they really accept this, or they just do it kicking and screaming? I have an answer myself, but I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about that.
I'm going to touch on checklists. My wife says it all the time. I just need to get off my checklist. So a customer wants you to come and give them an estimate. That could take days. You know, if you're able to go out and do a consultation, unless you're a salesperson, that's your dedicated job. If you're able to go out that day, that minute and do it, you've got a whole other problem in your business. You should not even be able to do. You should
like no work.
Yeah, you should be so busy that's not an option. So people want to get it off their checklist. I literally right now, as I'm looking out of my office, I have 2 gentlemen painting a pergola for me. Did him pictures. He didn't even ask him. I sent him pictures and said, how much? He sent me a price. I said, when can you start? And I even took a picture and sent him I had the paint can with some sort of slate color. I sent him the paint can. He was like, oh my God, thank you. You just saved me time. Now I can go to the paint store and get exactly what I need. So I'm on the consumer side, making it easy for the contractor. So yes, people love that. They get it off their checklist. And I just had a customer call me this morning. She's concerned about her pond. She's got some sort of weird thing in the bottom of it. I can't get out there till next week. It's just not even possible, because if I go out there and see her now, I'm going to screw the other people in line. So I said, hey, send me a couple of pictures. Let me see what you see. She sent them over, and I was like, it's totally fine. It's biofilm. Just double dose of bacteria for the next 2 weeks. Everything's fine. Send me another picture in a few days. Let's kind of watch it as it's going. I relieved her because she's concerned about her fish. That could be plumbing. That could be electrical. That could be anything. A customer has a huge concern. Get a picture from them to ease their mind and get it off their checklist.
Makes it easy. Steve, what are your thoughts on that?
It's exactly right. If number one, if you want me to come out there, there's a fee. So I'm trying to do something for free. Number 2, if I do come out there, it might take me a week or 2 to get out there, and I'm happy to talk to you today. So you'll get your answer today, and your answer will be for free. And when you add those 2 things in, coupled with the fact that it's now the way of the world, we have conditioned these customers now to actually send pictures. So it's not a pet. In fact, it's really a convenience for them. It's another convenience. Wow, I get to know right now and for free if we're even going to be a match. So it's all good.
Well, I feel the guys that make it harder on themselves and harder on the customers to buy from them are the guys that don't truly practice this process and make it second nature and have the right spirit. Those are the guys that get pushback and the clients have issues with. You know, but when you deliver this properly and with the right spirit, and you've practiced in the word tracks and all the things that we're teaching here, you get what you guys just shared, where the client is like, man, this was so cool. This was such a great process. This was so simple. Whether they buy from you or not, you're making it easy for them to work with a contractor, which in the end of the day is what we want.
Tom, you just hit the nail on the head, and I did not even think about that side of it. Over in the bridge, we teach the 5 steps of the Shinfu process. But what we inadvertently teach as well is how to send request for pictures, how to have a conversation after you receive the pictures, how to go through that process. And you're right, it's important to practice. It's taken me a good solid year to get down when a customer reaches out to me, how it goes into CRM, how I put it in my phone, how I send them the link, what my follow-up's going to be like. That's another, a procedure that we have to practice through repetition and repetition and repetition to make that stuff happen. I didn't even think about that side of it. It's just another dynamic. Steve, you have a process that you follow outside of ShinFu, but it ties directly into ShinFu.
Yeah, well, we all buy stuff. We know what's a pain in the ass, and we know what's not a pain in the ass. And we just try to develop systems that are not a pain in the ass. So, and you can't make them buy from you, you're right. But, how many times do they call you guys up and they go, oh my God, you answer the phone? Or you go, how many other estimates have you gotten? Well, I've asked 12 people, but you're the only one to call me back. Some of the simple shit, like saying hello on the telephone, actually answering it or calling them back, goes a long, long ways for making it easy for them.
And one final thought, and I'll leave it to you guys.
Cool.
It goes back to Steve, you saying get in your truck at 2 o'clock in the afternoon because that's just the time you chose to make phone calls. If you're afraid, and I just had a lady say this last week, is like, I can get on a call with you before I can come see you and I can speed this up. And she's like, well, why can't you just come out right now? And I said, because I actually schedule blocks of time each week that I return phone calls to clients. So that's how I'm able to do that. And then the other block is when I actually go see clients and I collect a deposit. So that's the thing too. Schedule some time in your day to return phone calls so that you can get back to every customer that's reached out to you every day and receive those pictures, return it. Because I know a lot of people say, well, I don't have time to do that. Or they're going to think, I'm not busy enough. It's really bullshit. It's all about procedure and policy and following things. And I think that was genius, Steve, when you said that years ago. Hey, this is Steve with Premier Ponds. I can't talk right now, but I would love to call you back at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It's huge.
10-4. Well said.
Good stuff. Well, we'll get wrapping here. We're going to open up our normal CSA Mastermind call now. Guys, if you've been listening to this podcast on iTunes, wherever, we appreciate a review. And again, just take to heart what we're saying here. Look at everything that happens in your business. Look at how you communicate with people, how you're pricing things. Keep it simple. Simplicity wins. It's in anything, right? I mean, I remember it was when the Cubs won the World Series a few years ago, and Joe Madden, the head coach or the manager, when he took over, I remember seeing this press conference. He was wearing this shirt that says, do simple better. And that was one of the mantras that they kept saying, like, hey, field the ground ball, get a base hit, be smart about the pitches that you're swinging. It was all the simple, basic fundamentals to baseball that made the game simpler. So look at that in your business now and just go, okay, what am I doing that is complicating things for me, my team, my customers, and stop doing that shit. All right, with that, we're out. You guys have a great week, and we'll see you next time.